What's up, everybody? It's Michael Fletcher, and welcome to this special edition of the Wrestling Forum, the recap of the Survivor Series 2017. Just went down a few minutes ago at the Toyota Center in this on the WWE Network, and what an event it was indeed. It was literally the battle between Raw versus SmackDown, and I know a lot of people are going to take this as a hindsight 2020, but if you really think about it, a banner night for both Raw and SmackDown. For Monday Night Raw, they get the ultimate bragging rights. They win the war 4-3 over SmackDown Live. However, SmackDown Live can say in the championship battles, the better show than Monday Night Raw, taking 3 out of 4 from the red brand. So technically, it's a 50-50 night. Raw can say that they won the overall war. SmackDown can say champions on our show. So if anything, it ends up being a draw and a wash in my eyes. But before we do that, we got to welcome representing Ridiculously Raw and, of course, Monday Night Raw member Anthony Florio, representing the SmackDown Live crew, Mr. Michael Bullock, and the one who's gonna be basically the den mother, and we'll try to wrangle these two knuckleheads because they've been going at it all night on social media, on a Facebook chat, and who will be my special guest referee for tonight, the Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson. She basically had to keep these two leashes all night, and I think they're going to have to remain on the leash for the remainder of the evening. So Dee will definitely be our referee and enforcer tonight, and I know Mama does not play when the kids start getting a little bratty, if you know what I mean. So my minds their P's and Q's. So with that said, we're gonna, you know what? I'm gonna say the heck with the pre-show fight. I'm not covering it. We're just gonna go right into it. Into the Survivor Series, the first of 7. Fight number 1, the 6-man tag team warfare, basically representing Monday Night Raw, the Shield, representing Live, the New Day, and the winners of the bout was the House of Justice. Score 1 for Raw. Wins the match. Anthony Florio, you get to lead off, my friend.
Yes, indeed, MF. And let me just say it like this. MF, you brought up how, Bullock and I, had our little verbal exchange on the Facebook Live. I'm going to be real honest with you. I wanted to go into this, as the man of fair play. I wanted to, have a good, clean competition. I really did. But Bullock was the one who wanted to, get down and dirty, take the gloves off. So I'm like, all right, if that's how you want to go, we'll go. So here we go. Good win for Raw. Great way to start it off. Wow. 3.5 to 4 stars. I mean, it was a match that lived up to expectations and protected the New Day despite the Shield getting the win. The boos for Reigns were not as significant as I expected them to be, considering that he was facing a popular trio. There were some loud boos for him at various points, but the fans also popped for his late spear on Kingston and the triple powerbomb from the top ropes. I mean, man alive. I mean, this was exactly what we knew it was going to be. We knew this was going to be an awesome fight, and we knew it was going to live up to the hype. And 3.5 to 4 stars. I mean, this is definitely, I'm gonna say right now, I think this went down as the greatest Survivor Series of all time because all of these matches were amazing. I mean, there was nothing bad on this show whatsoever. So this was a great way to start it off. And this is how the A show got off to the best start. you can't get out to a much hotter start than the A show getting it done like we knew they would. I mean, I had my doubts. I thought there was a chance New Day could steal it, but no. Shield goes over. I'm going to give MF credit where credit is due. I mean, MF was the one who said that the Shield was actually going to win this match when we did our preview show on Friday night, and I'm the one who actually said that the New Day was going to win. We actually showed some love between the brands. So there's really nothing left for me to say on this except 3.5 to 4 stars. Amazing match, lived up to the hype. Well done. All 6 men put on a damn good show. Great way to start off what I'm considering now the new greatest Survivor Series event of all time. Nothing more to say on this. Like a Bullock, hopefully we can be civil. We can be civilized men like we are, men of good faith, and let's put the Facebook nonsense aside and let's get your thoughts on this Shield and New Day.
And I'm a man of good faith too. So yeah, I mean, we did this thing just for the pay-per-view, but now we're doing the recap. I think it's best we as we like to say, tone it down some. I mean,
thank you. All right, your thoughts.
Yeah. So as far as this match goes, I mean, I do agree. I mean, I think this was a 4-star match. I mean, definitely was a great way to kick off Survivor Series, and I mean, I had a little bit thinking that the New Day was going to somehow do it, but the Shield gets the Shield gets it done, and I gotta say, kudos to both men. I mean, to both teams. I mean, they certainly put on one hell of a show. I mean, yes, say what you want about the New Day with their whole shtick and how some people think it's childish, but what they did in the ring tonight against probably one of the greatest factions of all time, I mean, you got to give it up for them. So, yeah, I mean, definitely a great way to start it off. 4 stars is my rating, so nothing more to say. Dee Whitson, I give it to you.
Dee. Well, I know the mic was unmuted, but we couldn't hear Dee. I don't know if she's got mic issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
there you go. We got it.
We got it. Okay. Yeah, I agreed. It was 4 stars, so let's just go on.
All right. Fight number 2. 7 series was the traditional Survivor Series matchup for representing Monday Night Raw Captain Alicia Fox with the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, Sasha Banks, and Nia Jax, representing SmackDown Live, Captain Becky Lynch with Miss Money in the Bank, Naomi. The 4th member was, I'm trying to remember because I know who the 5th one is. Okay, I forgot it. Tamina Snuka. And the final member of the team was a surprise. Well, last night, I want to say yesterday afternoon, they made the official announcement. Alia, former SmackDown Women's Champion, was the 5th and final member. Therefore, we had it. The match happened. The match and sole survivor representing a Raw, the Empress of Tomorrow. It Raw goes up 2-0 in the best of 7. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, the Empress of Tomorrow really definitely proved why she's on the main roster and why she was undefeated. So yeah, as far as the match goes, hold on a minute, I'm trying to look it up here, but yeah, I mean, I mean, when Asuka was at a disadvantage, I mean, you could hear everyone say, proving it against the rest of the SmackDown Live women that was basically still left. So she definitely proved herself, and yeah. So give me just a minute here as I pull up the rating. I'm gonna give it about three. I'm gonna give it about 3 to maybe just a teetering on 3.25 stars. I thought this was uh, again another good way to a good traditional Survivor Series match. And yeah, I mean, Asuka definitely has proven herself, and now somewhere down the line, Asuka's gonna get that shot at the Raw Women's title. So against someone who also competed in a match tonight on Raw. I mean, tonight on Survivor Series. So yeah, so we'll get into it when we talk about the match. So nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
I'm gonna give it about 2.5 to 3 stars. It was a very good match. Not surprised on the ending though. When it came down to the 2-on-1, I pretty much kind of knew by then that Asuka had it. So not much more I had to say about it. So you guys take it.
Yeah, I'm with Dee's rating for the most part. Well, actually, no, I'm actually more with Bullock's rating, 3 to 3.25 stars for that women's traditional Survivor Series elimination match. I mean, solid match, no question about it. And trying to get my liner notes up here, but yeah, Asuka being the lone survivor, definitely the right call. That was the best thing about it. Um, it had fun moments, but the Alicia Fox and Tamina stuff was largely bad, and some of the eliminations fell flat. If I'm to be real honest with you, but other than that, I'm certainly not going to nitpick. I mean, right team won, the right woman won, no doubt about it. I mean, you can make the argument it was a showcase for Asuka, so this match was laid out nicely in terms of setting up Asuka to plow through 2 heels at the end. I'm sure there's going to be some grumbling about Becky Lynch being eliminated first, especially from Team SmackDown here, MF, Bullock, and maybe Didi. But let's see if there's a storyline reason behind it that could play out on Tuesday night. If not, it's not like anybody's going to remember it a week from now. I don't read anything into Tamina going deep into the match. It seemed like they were simply attempting to make her look strong, so that it would mean more when Asuka eliminated her. The goal of the match was wisely to spotlight Asuka, and while I applaud them for making the right call, it wasn't so dynamic that it'll be one of the talking points coming out of the show. So, but me being the Raw guy, I certainly cannot complain. I mean, score 2 in a row for the Red Brand. So, and it was our newest acquisition that came through. I'm not at all surprised. Future Raw Women's Champion in the making, folks. It's not a matter of if she's going to win. It's just a matter of when. That's all there is to it. So 3 to 3.25 stars. Solid match. Nice showcase for Asuka. Nothing more to say except time for the SmackDown party.
And this is where basically he said it. The SmackDown party began. This is where the comeback began for SmackDown Live. Basically, it felt like a World Series. It really did. First 2 was in the AL City, in the NL, and then the final 2 went back to the AL City. But we'll get into that in just a minute. So, even more important, because this was the first of the 4 champions versus champions battles. The Intercontinental Champion representing Monday Night Raw is The Miz versus United States Heavyweight Champion representing SmackDown, Baron Corbin. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout was the United States Champion, Baron Corbin. Score 1 for SmackDown. They are on the board, 2-1 overall. Woodson, your thoughts on the match? SmackDown on the board.
Yeah, I was very happy to see Miz lose this one. There, most people know there's no love lost between me and the Miz. I could care less, even though he's from Ohio. I could care less about the dude. I'm scoring it about a 2.5. But it was a pretty good match. I mean, they did both bring it. Although Miz did try to cheat, but of course it didn't work. So score 1 for SmackDown, and so Florio, take it.
I would probably say by default this was the worst fight of the night. But then again, I kind of had this as the worst fight of the night going in, and I'm not surprised at all. 2.5 stars is basically all I can give it. I mean, it was solid overall, but it had some really odd flow issues early on. They settled in well enough, and I appreciated the clean finish. That was fine. The big question was, which heel was the live crowd going to cheer for? The answer was they didn't pick sides, and they only reacted to the big moves and the Daniel Bryan kicks from Miz. I was slightly looking forward to the match in a small way because it was different and because of the social media exchange and all that, but it didn't really click. That said, I'm glad that they didn't have all babyface versus heel matchups in the title matches. It would have felt way too convenient, to be honest, and too safe. But I'm glad they did it that way. So by default, worst fight of the night, although it wasn't really that bad. 2.5 stars. Michael Bullock, your thoughts on Baron Corbin going over the Miz?
Yeah, I'm glad that Baron Corbin got the win here for SmackDown Live. And of course, I can't stand the Miz either. I mean, because he's really annoying, to be quite honest. So SmackDown Live needed the victory. They got on the board, and Baron Corbin was the one who got him on the comeback trail. So, yeah, nothing more to say. Let's just move on.
And then it continued to roll for SmackDown Live, and this time it struck with the tag team. It was The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro representing Monday Night Raw versus Jimmy and Jay, the Usos representing SmackDown Live, the winners of the bout, and the team that can have the bragging rights as the best tag team in WWE. Usos. They've won it. They win it. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend. SmackDown ties the series 2-2.
And rightfully so. I mean, I was expecting it, honestly. You remember Friday Night MF. I had the Usos winning this match. I put you boys over, and which I'm not surprised because you remember last year when we had that epic 10-on-10 tag team match. The final two teams were The Bar and the Usos, and for 5.5 minutes, they gave us some damn good action. And we got it again tonight, nearly 16 minutes worth of it. Solid 3.5 stars. Overall, very good match with a strong pacing leading to the heated home stretch and really fun finish. I would love to see these two go at it again down the road because I think there's more potential for greatness between these four. We saw it last year, and we saw it again this year. Good match with some innovative and hard-hitting spots. Raw tag title belts were in the corner of Sheamus and Cesaro, and I kept waiting for them to come into play. But thankfully, that did not occur. I love that they went with another clean finish here. I definitely like to see some more from these teams if they end up on the same brand at some point. Because who knows? They could do another superstar shakeup. And if they do, who knows? Could the Bar go to SmackDown Live, or could the Usos end up on Raw? Whatever happens, if that happens, I want to see it. I mean, I hope I don't have to wait I hope I don't have to wait another year to see these two go at it again. I mean, Bullock and I secretly were hoping that it would have been Rollins and Ambrose against the Usos. And we did have a little concern, when the Bar won the tag team titles a few weeks ago. But at the end of the day, it was basically it was going to be the Bar against the Usos, and how about it? They delivered, and I'm very happy about that. I mean, what would have happened if it had been Rollins and Ambrose against them? Would it have been 3.5 stars, or would it have been even higher? I don't know. We'll never know. But what I do know is the Usos pick up the win, even the score for SmackDown Live as it was expected. So, very good match. Nothing more to say. 3.5 stars. Michael Bullock, I mean, you were the one who wanted to see Rollins and Ambrose against the Usos. It ended up being the Bar, but boy, howdy did they deliver. They over-delivered as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah, they certainly over-delivered. I mean, yeah, it was disappointing that we didn't get Rollins and Ambrose against the Usos, but boy, howdy, this match really delivered. I'm going to give it 3.5 stars as well. I mean, nice back and forth between the two teams, and they ought to be commended as well for putting on a really good tag team match. And I really hope that somewhere down the line we see these two go at it again, and hope that we don't have to wait another year. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. 3.5 stars. What's that give it to you?
Yeah, 3.5 stars. Very good match. Definitely bragging rights for the Usos. So congratulations to them. And by this time we have the tied ball game. So let's go on.
And then it really opened up for SmackDown Live, and for I know a little while, a few people thinking, "Oh my God, could SmackDown Live actually win the series?" Well, why? Because it was the battle of the women, and please, Nita Woodson, please don't kill me, but I need to say it: Goddess versus Queen. It was Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair, and Raw Women's Champion versus SmackDown Women's Champion. And when it was all said and done, not only is she the queen of SmackDown, but she is now truly the queen of the WWE. She takes down the Goddess and is now the female superstar of WWE, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. Michael was the one that was kind of the back and forth. I know deep down inside you wanted this one. You got it, my friend. SmackDown wins. SmackDown up. It's yours.
Oh, yeah, I really wanted this one. Yeah, because you know how much I can't stand Alexa Bliss as well. So, yeah, I'm going to give it about 2 3/4 to maybe 3 stars as my rating. Although I'm leaning more towards 2 3/4. I mean, I thought it was another good match. I mean, definitely. You saw the emotions running high during the match, and Charlotte basically held her end, and she proved to everyone why she is the queen of the Raw Women's Division, and I don't think anybody was rooting hard more than our own Twisted Angel, Dee Woodson, to see the so-called goddess of the women's division. Give me a break on that. I mean, yeah, goddess. How about goddess my ass, Alexa Bliss? So get the you know what out with that nonsense. So yeah, 2 3/4 of a star. Definitely a good match, and long live the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Woo! It's yours, Dee Woodson.
Yeah, 2 3/4 of a star. Definitely agree on that one. And yeah, I rooted very hard on Charlotte to win this one, and thank God I got my wish on this one just about as much as Bullock did. Um, Down goes Alexa. Miss, I think I'm the hot stuff of the WWE. She learned that she isn't all she says she is, and thank God for that. So, not much more I had to say about it. We've got the supreme ruler of the ladies division now. So let's see what Florio has to say about it.
It really could have gone either way. It really could have, honestly. I honestly thought they were going to give it to Alexa because she is the next big thing of the women's division, and she's dominated it pretty much the entire year. But I could see why they would go with Charlotte Flair here, no doubt about it. I mean, MF was right. I mean, it was all about the momentum, and coming off that emotional win last week on SmackDown Live when she knocked off Natalya to win the title. I mean, that was pretty much it. So I'm going to give it a solid 3 stars here. The match was laid out in a way that put Bliss on the offensive for the majority of the bout. They wanted it to feel more epic than I assumed. We all view Alexa Bliss as more of a pest heel than it seemed like they do based on how much of the match she was given. It was an entertaining match, and yet I never bought into Bliss's near falls. With SmackDown having the lead and only 2 matches to go, it looks like they were tipping off the result of our next match, which some were hoping would be the main event of the show, but in all honesty, I wasn't. But I'm glad. I'm glad they decided to go with this way. So, I mean, overall, pretty good match. Did a good job of playing around the size difference. I'm glad they were given time, and they delivered what we expected to be a solid and entertaining match, and that's exactly what they did. So, 15 minutes plus, good job. So, I'll give credit to Charlotte where it's due. I miss her on Raw. She was the crown jewel of Raw last year. And then Alexa became the crown jewel. And I'll be honest, I was secretly rooting for Charlotte Flair because, my love affair with Charlotte Flair and her father, Ric Flair, because, one of my childhood heroes, of course, the Four Horsemen and all that. So,
and especially after that documentary on ESPN.
Amen to that. So, maybe that came into play as well. I don't know. Very possible. But nonetheless, solid 3 stars. Solid, entertaining bout. 3-2 SmackDown Live. Raw had their backs against the wall.
And on top of that, let me just add one little thing. In the champions versus champions battle for SmackDown Live, they had already claimed it 3-0. Talking, Florio, yes, Raw's backs were indeed up against the wall, and they need back. Began with the biggest one of them all, of big champions. Universal Champion, the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar representing Monday Night Raw versus World Wrestling Entertainment Champion from SmackDown Live, the phenomenal Jay Styles. And when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout, Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. Raw gets the win on this one, and we are tied at 3-all. Lead off on this match.
This was a very good match, and both guys had come out of this with some type of an injury. In fact, we saw at the end there Lesnar actually having to be helped a little bit by Heyman as he walked out. I mean, because his knee was shot. But then again, Styles. I'm sure he came out with a gigantic headache after being slammed into the ring like 5 times by his head. But yeah, man, this was definitely a match that kept your attention. Definitely, one that will go down in the record books as being one of the better title versus title matches. You know, like they said, Styles, only gets better as the match goes on, and he certainly did. But you know, Lesnar just that last minute, got his little breather and pulled it off. So I'm gonna give it 4 to 4.5 stars. For me, I'm going to call this my match of the night. I really enjoyed this one, even a little bit more than the next match. So not much more I have to say about it. So Florio, it's yours.
I agree. This was the fight of the night. Absolutely right. I mean, man alive. I mean, this was one of the 2 matches on the card that I really thought was going to steal the show. Our next match, of course, was the one that I thought was going to steal it more based on the talent involved. But I'm with Didi on this one. 4 to 4. I'm going to give this 4.25 to 4.5 stars. This was a great match that would have been excellent if it wasn't for the botchy moments, which held it back a little bit. The layout was excellent, with AJ overcoming the odds and giving Brock a great fight before the well done finish. The crowd was really into it, especially down the stretch when AJ was running wild. Had they avoided the botches on the DDT spots when Lesnar was dumped to the floor, I could have gone as far as to give this a 5-star classic, but easily would have called that excellent. Brock felt motivated. AJ was awesome. Ton of fun. Had a great vibe to it throughout. I would certainly love to see a rematch. I mean, this was a very good match. It would have been nice if AJ had actually kicked out of that F5 to keep the bout going and give it even more of an epic feel. That would have made it 5 stars right there. But it sure seems like they're saving that big F5 kick out maybe for Roman Reigns, wink, wink, at WrestleMania. It wasn't an 8-minute suplex city bout as we've seen from Brock lately. And I like the way Lesnar dominated early. Styles came back with great flurry. Hopefully we'll get a rematch again someday. So, man alive, I mean, if it wasn't for those couple of things, this would have been a 5-star classic. But I'm going to give this 4.25 to 4.5 stars. No doubt about it. This was the fight of the night, hands down. It felt like a championship match. Man alive. And outcome was never in doubt. I mean, once SmackDown went up 3-2, and once this was, and considering what the final 2 matches were, you had a feeling Lesnar was going to go over. And he did. I'm not surprised. And now Brock Lesnar can finally say, hey, I've got the Survivor Series monkey off my back. Remember, Brock Lesnar has never won a Survivor Series match before. He was 0-3 going in. Now he can say he's 1-3. Well done. It's about damn time Brock got a Survivor Series win. What a great win it was. So, well done, Beast. That's how you represent Raw. Well done. So, 4.25, 4.5 stars. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, what a match. Woof.
Oh yeah, it was definitely one heck of a match. 4 to 4.5 stars, definitely the fight of the night, no doubt about it. I mean, you saw Brock, dominate at the beginning, but in the end, of course, AJ Styles came back, and many people thought it looked like he was going to somehow pull it out, and in the end, AJ Styles made one mistake. Tried to go for the F5. Tried to go for the forearm, I should say. But he got caught, and the F5 got hit on him, and there you go. Brock Lesnar wins the match. So, and finally, like you said, he gets that monkey off his back with losing with losing at the Survivor Series. So, yeah, so there's really nothing more to say on it. I enjoyed it. I really hope we get to see these two face each other again somewhere down the line, but we're just gonna have to wait and find out. So yeah, 4 to 4.5 stars. So it was tied 3-3 going into our final matchup of the night.
The final match, it's traditional Survivor Series matchup versus SmackDown for Team Raw. It was Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, the Kurt Angle, and the fifth member, The Game, Triple H. On SmackDown Live, Shane McMahon, Shinsuke Nakamura, Randy Orton, and John Cena. When it was all said and done, out and survivors of the match, Triple H, Raw wins 4 matches to 3 overall. But wait, hold on. Down during that match, Triple H betrays Monday Night Raw and pedigrees Kurt Angle that led to the elimination of Kurt Angle, which at the time made it 2-1. Shane McMahon was the last member of SmackDown Live in the matchup. Then when Triple H hits the pedigree on Shane, he gets the 1-2-3, thus winning the match for Monday Night Raw. Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman kind of wasn't too happy with Triple H, I guess, for what he did to Angle early in the fight and took his vengeance out on the Game with but 3 running power slams. Roar! Boys, you pissed off the Monster Among Men, and I don't give a damn if you're even the King of Kings. When you start, there's only one way that you gotta do it: through drama, and he did that to Triple H. But I will say this: for one, I think we can confirm WrestleMania 34 is probably now in the books for ladies and gentlemen. We're about to see that go down in New Orleans. But here's the other thing. The hell is going to happen on Monday Night Raw tomorrow with Braun Strowman? Stephanie, what is Angle? Well, I don't know about Angle. Angle might be fired because of what happened. But Stephanie Strowman, Braun literally left your husband in a heap right in the center of the ring. So, and I'll tell you one thing for sure. I was definitely saying yes, yes, yes when Triple H got kicked by Braun Strowman. I'm telling you, man, something's going to go down. You lead off on the main event of the evening. You clue me in on what you think's going to happen tomorrow night on Raw, because there's a lot of drama that just went down, especially a lot of dissension on the Raw end, even though they won, but there's a lot of storyline building on that end.
Very true. Very true. I didn't like seeing the dissension, but, it was expected because, there were a lot of egos on that side. But the only thing that matters, and the only thing that matters, is that Raw won it. Raw gets the bragging rights. Yeah, buddy. That's all there is to say on that. I mean, I told you all Raw was going to win. I told you all. And it was exactly as it played out. 4-3, Monday Night Raw wins the Survivor Series, gets the bragging rights. No big surprise. And all right, thoughts on the match? Oh boy, it hurts me to say this, but considering the talent involved, I thought this had the potential to be the greatest traditional Survivor Series match of all time. I really thought this was going to surpass last year. Nope. Last year is still the greatest traditional Survivor Series elimination match of all time. I can only give this 3 to 3.5 stars. It was good with fun interactions early on, but also a match that really faded as it went along. The crowd wasn't really into the Hunter stuff at the end and only got back into it when Braun Strowman destroyed him. Basically, it started off good, started to get slow, and it ended on a completely flat note. And considering who was involved in this match, very, very disappointing. And it was a tale of two halves, really. First half of the match was a lot of fun with short bursts of some fun dream match combinations. And then the second half of the match became McMahon family overindulgence. It became fairly apparent that the result was going to be either Super Shane making a super comeback or Hunter being spotlighted in some way. Hunter's attack on Angle, yes, it confused the live crowd. It was not very compelling, even if they are trying to set up Angle versus Hunter in a future match. Post-match with Braun Strowman working over Hunter sent the crowd home happy. Are they going with a new age Austin McMahon feud with Strowman against Hunter? Will they ever scrap the heel authority figure Hunter in favor of the much fresher and more appealing persona we see in NXT? The main event closed in silly fashion. But it may have been a disappointing match. But other than that, this to me was still the greatest Survivor Series event I ever saw. So, not just because the real A show, won it all, but just because of the overall action. So, 3 to 3.5, that's the best I can give it. So, Michael Bullock, I mean, considering the talent involved, I was expecting a 5-star, greatest Survivor match of all time, even better than last year. Nope, not this time.
Yeah, I think we were all expecting it to be a really good traditional Survivor Series elimination match, but it was a little disappointing to say the very least. I mean, it was good at the start, but then it just fell flat at the end. So, yeah, I'm gonna give it only 3 stars as my rating. So that's as far as I can basically go when it comes to this. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. I'm just gonna give it to Dee Woodson here.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3 stars. It was just kind of a train wreck. I mean, you knocked out some of your biggest guys right there at the beginning, and there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be upset. That Nakamura was one of the first ones out. Rude being, like the second. And then Raw's big draws having Samoa Joe and Balor also knocked out there at the beginning. I mean, that was, right there, that was some of your biggest draws, and you just kind of threw them out really early in the match instead of, pushing it a little bit more than what they should have done. But yeah, it didn't make a whole lot of sense. And then you have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens that run out there and attack Shane, and it's like they just kind of threw this match together at the last minute, that they didn't even plan out how they wanted to do it or anything. It's just, we're going to go out, we're just going to do whatever feels right, I guess is how you could look at it. But it just didn't make any sense. I mean, it just was total chaos in my book. So, I, congratulations to Raw for winning, but not real crazy about the way it went down. And I had to say I'm behind Strowman on the attack on Triple H. I mean, even he was confused there at the end on what happened and why it happened, and I don't think anybody knows why it happened, other than the fact that Triple H wanted to be the one to take out his brother-in-law and wanted to be the one to please his wife by getting rid of what he thought was the deadbeat GM. And so, I mean, it's just, it's just total chaos. Didn't make sense. So, not much more I have to say about it because I'm starting to repeat myself. So, Fletch, take it.
All right, and we're just going to close it with the overall review. And Dee Wilson, I see your mic. Give me your thoughts on the Survivor Series. What did you think the show was?
It was a good Survivor Series. It wasn't the best. But it was good. This year, I'd have to say, was the closest we've had to SmackDown becoming, the top dog here. But if Raw wants to call themselves the top dog, then they need to start proving it in their shows that they are the A show, because this whole year SmackDown has been so much stronger than Raw. So this year, Raw better step it up and prove, every night that, they are the A game, that they are the A show, and that they deserve the dominance that they, supposedly won tonight. Because you can't, in my opinion, you really can't go by this on who's the A show. The A show has to come from what you do week after week after week after week, and your storyline building and the way you manage your talent and stuff. So, this was, a strong pay-per-view. We had some really good matches, and we had, at least one. I'm with everybody else. I could care less about Corbin and Miz, but we had, the matches that some people just didn't care who won, and but for me, I'm going to give it probably a 7 out of 10. Because like I said, it was a fairly good pay-per-view. Just there's a few low points, but nothing too major to really knock it down too much. So not much more I have to say about it. I am going to go ahead and say this now, since I probably won't get a chance to say anything else for the rest of the night. At least until January, this will probably be my last forum for a while because of the move and work commitments. So, with that being said, I guess I will see everybody at the first of the year.
Anthony Florio, I give.
Yes, good night, Dee Woodson, and it'll be sad to be without you for a while, but don't worry. Bullock, MF, and I, we got this. We got it. So, but we hope you'll definitely tune in while you have your work commitments and your move and all that. We want to definitely send you our best wishes and best wishes to the family. So, God bless you all. So, all right. 7 out of 10. I can respect Dee's rating. I can, but for my money, to be honest, I felt this. I said going in, this was going to be the greatest Survivor Series event of all time, and I say it was. I don't care what anybody says. It's my opinion. I'm going to give this between probably 9.25 to 9.5 out of 10 because this was a very good show. I mean, AJ and Lesnar, the fight of the night, no doubt about it. Second best fight, I would probably have to give it to The Shield and the New Day. And then rounding out the top three would be the tag team match with the Bar and the Usos. I mean, those three matches were fun. All were very good. And I know I probably overscored it, but nothing on this show was terrible. I mean, the pre-show matches were terrible, yes. But these matches, I felt really delivered. Everybody put in their best efforts. And every match was really good. Every match had that element of Shakespearean drama. And based on the effort and the crowd tonight, I can honestly say this, to me, was the greatest Survivor Series of all time. If I'm the lone wolf on this, like I am with Raw, you know, it doesn't matter. So 9.25 to 9.5. This is a Survivor Series. You gotta go out of your way and see. Everything on the show was good. Nothing sucked. Well, maybe you could make an argument that the main event sucked, but other than that, best damn Survivor Series I've ever seen. Well worth it. So, nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, we said this was going to be the greatest Survivor Series going in. I say it was. It beyond lived up to my expectations.
I agree. I mean, I thought it lived up to the expectations too. I mean, I can respect Dee Dee Woodson's 7-star rating. I mean, I get that, but like you brought it up, I mean, the crowd was definitely into it. I mean, there were no bad matches, and all the matches I thought were really good, and that's why I think it's definitely worthy of the rating. So, yeah, you pretty much touched on everything. So, Fletch, I say we just put a bow on this edition of the Wrestling Forum Survivor Series recap.
And we are going to do that. So tomorrow night is Ridiculously Raw with Anthony Florio on the Tone 25 at 11 p.m. Eastern as we have the Fallout series. And then, of course, Tuesday night at 10:30 Eastern is Cerebral Smack Talk. We got a lot. First, we got SmackDown Live, the Fallout from the Survivor Series. And then I also got a lot of results from the RWA, the Thanksgiving Throwdown for that. Until then, for Anthony Florio, for Dee Dee Woodson, for Michael Bullock, I am Michael Fletcher. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. Leave a comment, like it, share with everybody on all social media platforms. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a good night. So long for now. Bye-bye.